Fila-Mint is one of the many mints in Plants vs. Zombies 2, and today I'm going to be ranking every single plant in its family from worst to best. There's a total of 12 plants in this family, and at the number 12 spot we have the Buzz Button. Now, Buzz Button is highly known as one of the worst plants in Plants vs. Zombies 2, simply because it could kill basically no zombies. As literally it only deals 22 damage to the zombie that eats it, and that's over a span of around 5 seconds. And while this plant also has a 15-second recharge time, meaning that this plant can only deal 22 damage every 15 seconds due to its long recharge time. And it also stuns the zombie for 1 second, which doesn't really do a lot. So yeah, it literally takes up to 3 or 4 buzz buttons just to kill a single basic zombie, and that's over a span of around a minute waiting for the buzz buttons to be done recharging. So yeah, Buzz Button is just one of the worst plants, if not the worst plant in the entire game. At the number 11 spot we have the Electric Current. Now, you actually need multiple electric currents for this plant to work at all, as well if you only have one electric current, it'll basically do nothing. As well, you need to place one electric current down on one side of the lawn and put another one on the different side of the lawn, and they'll connect together, forming this electric line. And while it actually looks pretty cool, though, it doesn't really deal too much damage to the zombies, as well most of the time the zombies will just walk through it without getting much damage dealt to them at all. As well most of the time a basic zombie won't even be killed going through the electric current, and the majority of the time you'll need 3 or 4 rows of the electric current just to deal a little bit of damage to some of the stronger zombies. And while since this plant costs 150 sun and has a 10-second recharge time, it's just not worth making all these different rows of the electric currents when you could place down so many other better plants. And while since there's only 3 lanes that the electric currents could really attack, if there's any zombies on the outside lanes, they could easily eat the electric currents with little to no problem. So yeah, you definitely need other plants to defend the electric currents, as well by themselves they're not really defending themselves or anything, and they could get eaten really easily. Now at the number 10 spot we have the EMP, which is an insta plant that immediately disables all mechanical enemies within a 5x5 radius of where you place it down. And while they get stunned for a total of 10 seconds where they're not able to move and they're not able to attack the plants or anything. And while this usually is pretty useful, though you could only really use it in 2 worlds, which is why it's this low on the list, as all these mechanical enemies usually only appear in far future and sometimes in modern day. So yeah, really, there's only 2 worlds that this plant is actually useful in, and the majority of the worlds you can't use this plant at all, which is why it's at the number 10 spot. Now, the number 9 spot we have the Electricity, which attacks in a 3x3 radius around him with small electrical attacks that can bounce from one zombie to another. And while these small electrical things don't really deal too much damage, as well they sort of just bounce around the zombies until disappearing. And while if a zombie eats the electricity, a small electric cloud will spawn above where the electricity used to be, and from now on, all the nearby zombies will be electrocuted until the cloud disappears. So yeah, it's just not too powerful of a plant, as well all its abilities and everything are pretty good. It's just the lack of damage that it deals, and it costs 125 sun and has a 15-second recharge time. Now, the number 8 spot we have the Power Vine that attacks the zombies by firing laser bolts at them, which deal 10 damage every second. And while you could actually make the Power Vine more powerful by placing other Power Vines that are adjacent tile to him, and once they're connected, they'll start shooting 3 electric bolts instead of 1, which will deal 30 damage every second. So yeah, you actually need to connect these plants together, and they'll start doing 30 damage every second, meaning that it actually makes it a lot better if you connect them. Though still, 30 damage really isn't too much, and 10 damage just by itself is actually really bad, and 30 damage is sort of average. So overall, it's still not that good of a plant. It can be placed over other plants that occupy the same tile, just like every other tile plant, though it doesn't really help the plant that it's placed on top of. Now, at the number 7 spot we have the Citron, and while the Citron is one of the most powerful plants in the game, dealing 800 damage. And while it can basically insta-kill the majority of the zombies in the game, from a basic zombie all the way up to the most powerful zombies like a night zombie or a buckethead zombie or even some mechs. And while since this plant deals 800 damage, you're probably wondering why it's around the middle of the list, and that's because of its long attack cooldown and its very high stun cost. As well, it costs 350 sun and has a 5-second recharge time, which is sorta worth it for the amount of damage that it does, though it has an attack cooldown of 9.5 seconds. Meaning that it could only kill one zombie every 9.5 seconds. which is actually pretty bad as you know, Plants vs. Zombies 2 is a very fast-paced game where there's constantly zombies coming onto the lawn and you have to kill them very quickly. So the fact that the Citron takes 9.5 seconds to recharge is actually really bad because it makes it so it can only kill one zombie at a time, so it's really slow. So yeah, at first Citron seems like a really good plan, and it sort of is for levels that don't have a lot of zombies, but for any normal level in the game, he just won't work too well. And while at the number 6 spot we have the Magnifying Grass, which is another really powerful plant that deals 550 damage per hit, which once again could insta-kill most zombies and deal a ton of damage to zombies like mechs. And while Magnifying Grass is still one of the most unique plants in the game in my opinion, so instead of shooting normally, it actually fully relies on sun to be used. As when you place this plant down, it instantly costs 50 sun. It has a 5-second recharge time, though to use this plant you have to click on it, and when you click on it, it takes 50 sun away from you, and he shoots this colorful bolt at the zombies that immediately deals 550 damage. So if you have multiple rows of sunflowers, you could actually make this plant extremely overpowered, and you could basically make it rapid fire. So yeah, mattering how you use this plant could actually be really good, which is why it's at the number 6 spot on this list, and it still holds up well to this day. And while at the number 5 spot we have the Lightning Reed, which is a pretty classic lightning plant that's one of the first ones you unlock in the game. And while by itself is not really that good, it only deals 10 damage and it zaps 3 zombies at a time. And while this plant costs 125 sun, it has a 5-second recharge time, meaning that if you place down enough sun producing plants, you can spam this plant down really easily, which is why it's this high on the list. As you know, usually when using Lightning Reed, you spam them down really quickly and you get multiple rows of them. And while since this plant could attack the entire lawn and really has no limit to it besides what's in front of it, you could attack every single zombie really quickly. So yeah, if you get 2 or 3 rows of Lightning Reeds, it actually becomes really overpowered, especially because they can zap 3 zombies at a time, and they could easily kill a ton of zombies really quickly. So yeah, this plant sort of relies on the player to actually be good at the game to make sure that they can place down enough Lightning Reeds, but if you know what you're doing, this plant could be really good. And while at the number 4 spot we have the Electric Blueberry, and while this plant's sort of forgotten most of the time, though it's actually really good. And while this plant is actually really overpowered, as well every 12 seconds it spawns in these lightning clouds that has a 55% chance of targeting a normal zombie, a 40% chance of targeting a unique zombie, and a 5% chance of targeting a gargantuar. And while any single zombie that it targets will instantly be killed, and it can actually kill multiple zombies with the same lightning cloud. And while any zombie that it targets will instantly be killed no matter what, even if it's a gargantuar, though the only thing stopping this plant from being any higher on this list is the recharge time. As the sun cost is actually really reasonable, it costs 150 sun, though it has a 45-second recharge time, meaning that in most levels you'll only be able to place down 3 or 4 of them. Though still, it's definitely worth using, as well as actually a really powerful plant, and once you get multiple of them down, you can insta-kill a ton of zombies. Now, the number 3 spot we have the Electric Peel that's able to shoot banana peels at the zombies that pierces through all the zombies 4 tiles in front of it 2 separate times, dealing 60 damage. And while even though 60 damage doesn't sound like a lot, it actually is a lot, as well it actually rapid fire these banana peels really quickly, dealing an insane amount of damage. It could also be placed on water. As well, when it's on water, it's actually even more overpowered because it deals 65 damage every time it goes through the zombies, which ends up adding up to a total of 130 damage. So yeah, on water, this plant is even more overpowered and it attacks zombies very quickly, so every 10 seconds it could deal around 600 damage just on land. And while in the water, it could also create these electric tiles which deal damage every 0.5 seconds, meaning that it's even more overpowered. So yeah, overall, the Electric Peel is overall a pretty underrated plant, as though I don't feel like a lot of people talk about the Electric Peel and it's sort of forgotten. And while at the number 2 spot we have the Ultimato, which is a plant that actually starts off really weak, though by the end of it is actually really powerful. Now first off, the Ultimato's sun cost is really weird, as well when you first place them down it costs 250 sun, though once there's actually more of them on the lawn, the sun cost increases. Though if the Ultimato gets killed or gets shoveled up by a shovel zombie, the sun cost actually goes down. So it's pretty strange because sometimes the Ultimato sun cost will be less than 200 sun, and sometimes it'll be upwards of 300 sun. Though either way is extremely overpowered because at its max level it could deal 1600 damage. As well, it has 3 tiers of it, starting off as a really weak green tomato, then a yellow tomato, then at its full form is able to deal 1600 damage. And will it shoots a laser every 6.5 to 6.7 seconds, and the laser lasts for around 2.5 seconds. And while this laser will deal an insane amount of damage, basically insta-killing any zombie that it targets, and it could actually kill multiple zombies sometimes. So yeah, overall, Ultimato is just a really good plan, though the only reason why it's not number 1 on this list is because it takes a really long time for it to get at the max level. And while at the number 1 spot for the best plan in the Fila-Mint family, we have the electric Peashooter. Now, every 2 seconds, the electric pea will shoot an electric pea at the zombies, and the electric pea will actually go through every single zombie in his lane instead of just disappearing after hitting one zombie. As well, basically every single pea shooter in the game, besides this one, the pea will disappear after the first zombie, though this one could attack the entire lane. And while not only that, it also deals damage to the 2 lanes on the side of it, dealing a total of 20 damage to the lanes on the side and 30 damage to the lanes it directly getting hit. And while because it deals all this damage in a 3x3 radius, once it hits one zombie, it'll hit the zombie behind it, dealing even more damage to that zombie, meaning that it could deal upwards of 100 damage to just a single zombie. Meaning that if the zombies are way too close together, such as right at the beginning of the wave, it could basically insta-kill all of them really quickly. So yeah, overall, the electric pea is just a really powerful plan, and if you spam them down enough, it can basically clear out the entire lawn really quickly. And while back when this plant first came out, it was highly regarded as one of the best plants in the entire game. But yeah, comment down below if you agree with my list or not, and also comment which mint family I should rank next, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please like, subscribe, and have a great day.